The woman was taking a shower while the man outside quietly rummaged through her bag. Inside, he found an intimate photo of the two of them together, clear proof their relationship was far from ordinary. Suddenly something slipped from his hand and hit the floor with a loud clatter. But when the woman stepped out, she didn't scold him. Instead, she simply tossed him a towel.
Get my bag, please.
Early the next morning, John realized his phone was missing. He walked into the living room to look for it, only to see a breaking news report on the TV. A young woman had been murdered and the victim was the same girl from the photo he had seen the day before. Just then, Kelly returned home. John told her the shocking news that her roommate had been killed, but Kelly showed no reaction at all. She calmly kept eating her fried chicken. Confused, John asked if they shouldn't call the police. To his horror, Kelly casually replied that she was the one who killed her. She admitted that the roommate had never been a good lover anyway. The only reason she had been with her was because the apartment was the perfect place to spy on John. Terrified after hearing the truth, John tried to turn and leave, only to discover that Kelly had already taken his phone. The entire house's security system was under her control. Furious, John lunged forward to grab it back, but Kelly knocked him to the ground with a hard kick. She then tied him to a wheelchair. Her plan was simple: transfer all of John's assets and steal his identity. John refused to reveal any information, but Kelly had come prepared. She pulled out a power drill and drove it straight into his thigh. Meanwhile, the elderly landlord came by to clean the room. When he noticed a telescope in the bedroom, curiosity got the better of him. He stepped closer to take a look and, to his surprise, spotted Kelly through it. Perfect timing. The old man had been worried about who he could collect the rent from. At the same time, Kelly had already obtained the information she needed and successfully transferred the money. Next, she wanted John to call the bank and liquidate his stocks. She cut the ropes around him with a pair of scissors, but John seized the opportunity and suddenly fought back, grabbing Kelly by the throat. Kelly scrambled for the scissors on the floor and stabbed them viciously into John's shoulder. Enraged, she pulled out her phone and played a video. To protect his ex-wife and son, John had no choice but to give in. Afterward, Kelly smashed all the communication devices in the house and photographed the valuable paintings, planning to sell them. Watching the movers arrive to take the artwork away, John finally realized the horrifying truth: everything that had happened to him had been carefully orchestrated by Kelly from the start. Later that day, just after Kelly drove off, the landlord showed up at the house. He smashed the window with a rock and climbed inside. When Kelly saw the intrusion alert on her phone, she immediately turned the car around. John begged the landlord to untie him and call the police, but the old man kept raising his price again and again. With no other choice, John agreed to everything, but the landlord insisted on cash. John had no way to get cash at the moment, so he offered the old man one of the valuable paintings hanging on the wall instead. Only then did the landlord agree to untie him. But just as he started, Kelly was already driving back. John urged the landlord to call the police immediately, but the old man, who believed in anti-radiation health practices, never carried a cell phone. Seeing the situation turn dangerous, the landlord tried to run, but Kelly had already locked the door when she returned. Clutching the painting, the old man fled upstairs, with Kelly chasing him closely, a long knife in her hand. The landlord thought he might still stand a chance in a fight, but unfortunately, he was quickly killed by Kelly's blade. At the same time, John finally managed to break free from his restraints. He jumped onto a snowmobile and sped down the mountain. Panic overwhelmed him, causing him to lose control and crash, rolling onto the highway. By sheer luck, a passing driver stopped. The kind stranger quickly helped John into the car and dialed 911 so he could report what had happened. John hurriedly told the police about his situation, but to his shock, the car suddenly turned around and headed straight back to the apartment. Even worse, the person on the other end of the 911 call was Kelly. The driver turned out to be Kelly's stepfather. Since childhood, he had trained her, teaching her how to scam people and steal identities. Their next target was the $14 million in bearer bonds John kept in the bank. But to access the vault, they needed one thing: John's thumbprint. And with that, Kelly suddenly wrapped a wire around John's neck from behind.